Welcome back to the next installment of our player interviews as we build up to finals night this week. Absolutely delighted to be joined by Jordan Montlake, technical consultant at Tisski. Welcome, Jordan.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. It's one of the finer gaming setups that we've seen. Absolutely love it.
It's not bad, isn't it? It's good. I do. I think that when you're doing these things, so it's just a bit of a laugh. Have a background that's not someone's bookshelf or just a corner of a room. So yeah, I thought I'd make a bit of an effort for you, John.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. I have my bookshelf just out of shot so that I avoid being too cliche. Love a good cliche though. I love even the colours are on brand and everything, representing Tisski quite well, as you mentioned. So
these are my Tisski company colours. If I do a bit of talking, you'll see them cycle through our blue, green, our orange, and our sort of grey white. So yes, repping the brand.
Lovely. And you're a gold Microsoft partner. Cloud Solutions is you guys specialize in. Do you want a nice place to start? Do you want to tell us a little bit more about the company for anybody that doesn't know?
Yeah, absolutely. So Tisski was started by our CEO Anna back in 2011. We are a Microsoft Gold partner. We are in fact a member of the Inner Circle, which puts us in the top 1% of Microsoft partners. Historically, we've dealt with a lot of sort of solutions and implementations around Dynamics 365, the Power Platform, and sort of really business applications as a whole. We also, of course, work with the rest of the Microsoft ecosystem, Microsoft 365, Azure, all of the security, identity, the infrastructure, software as a service solutions. And really it's about ensuring that our clients have the best use of their data. They're getting the information, the insights, the analytics, so they can make decisions, they can be informed, they can be efficient, and they can provide great products and services to their customers. So yeah, that's what we do.
That was a brilliant 60-second elevator pitch for anyone wanting some tips out there. So technical
Tisski.com for more information.
Technical consultant by day and aspiring gamer and streamer by night.
I am.
How is your esports experience going so far?
You know what? I've really enjoyed my esports experience with Business Fives. It's really my first proper tournament. I've done LAN gaming in the past, and I play with friends and family online.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of taking part in tournaments, this has been my first, real, bracketed, score tracking, player progression. And actually, it was this tournament that really made me take a bit of a serious look at what I was trying to do with this streaming channel that I'm trying to get running up on Twitch. So I thought it was a great opportunity, a set of structured matches, a really good schedule, a great variety of teams. Had a chance to talk to all the team captains before the matches, say, hi, I'll be streaming. It's on this channel if you want to check it out. And actually, it's growing a bit of a following. We've got people checking in. We've got people viewing the clips and the streams. And yeah, it's been a really exciting experience, a great place to start, a wonderful community. And I'm just really pleased I kind of had this opportunity to both take part in the tournament and also to, hopefully start a bit of a community around these people.
Great to hear. We've been sharing out your stream and following along the action. It's been a bit of a roller coaster ride. You're team captain, obviously, for the Tisski 2-0 team. One of 4 teams Tisski have in the competition. You guys have made your way to the Prestige quarterfinals. Are you happy with your performance so far?
We had a rocky start, but it turns out as the first 2 days went by and we saw how the leaderboard started to sort of stack out, it turns out we were up against 2 very competitive teams from the word go.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we should have put a bit more time in on the practice rounds. But yeah, it's really been a roller coaster. I think we've held our own quite well. We've really tried to not give anything away. Really make our opponents work for it. We got a win actually on one of our last matches, and we were really pleased with that. And yeah, really pleased that we then have a chance to go into the Prestige finals, play some more games, play some more teams, really keep making them work for it.
And just looking at your most recent match, obviously was a win against the 24/7 Money team.
Yeah.
Did that lift the spirits in the camp? How was that?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk us through it?
Yeah. We'd had a bit of a long few days. So we played games on all 3 days last week. The first 2 we got fairly obliterated. But yeah, so on our third day, and in fact, this was during, so there was an Activision blackout. We had huge server problems. In fact, we believe that everyone in the tournament had these issues. So, we were keeping in touch with the other teams, seeing who could get on, what team members couldn't make it, working on, if we had to play the matches another day. And we were really fortunate. We were playing a great team. The 24/7 Money guys are great. And we managed to just hang in a little further into the evening, played our matches, came out with a win. And it was just a really fun experience. And I think really G'd us back up to playing in the quarterfinals this week.
Good. Going in confident mood then. And
absolutely. Yep.
Have you allowed yourself the chance to look forward to that next match? It's going to be either Novatech or Nexus Open Systems. It's the runner-up in that match that will play you guys. Have you done any scoping of the potential opposition or any reconnaissance?
Well, we actually know Nexus. They were one of our first matches, so we know Nexus quite well. We know they're a good team. Obviously, they're in the final. They're in they're in the elite bracket currently. So Nexus we're kind of prepared for. We sort of looked back at some of our clips, got a bit of their strategy, and we think we know what sort of weapon types and sort of strategies we're going to take to kind of hold them at bay and to sort of counteract. With Novatech, no, we've looked at their pages, we've looked at their profiles on the site, and we've obviously seen they too have made it to the elite bracket. So we're going to keep an eye on them, see if we can suss out what their tactics are, maybe a bit more, and just whichever team we end up playing, we're gonna really try and bring our A game.
Quite right. Focus on your own strategies and tactics, I think, is certainly the way to go. Don't worry too much about the opposition. There's a lot of good teams out there. As you mentioned, you were in a really, really tough opening group. The Lad Bible team have kind of carved out a bit of a name for themselves, shall we say, winning 6 out of their opening 6.
Very well. Tough team.
Tough team is right. But you mentioned in your own profile just the competitive experience and just having some time to enjoy a different experience with your colleagues is a huge driver, but also the charity aspect and the charity element of the events as well is a huge driver for you guys. You're playing in support of Derek's Tree. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the charity and why you guys are supporting them?
Yeah, absolutely. So Derek's Trees is a really important charity to us. We've supported them before, and in fact, they were a favourite charity of a colleague of ours whom we lost last year. So it was a very deliberate choice, to carry on her memory, to carry on that good work. And in fact, both of our teams in this competition, both my team, Tisski 2-0, and my counterparts on the other side, Tisski Team 2, are both in support of Derek's Trees. They do excellent work, and we are looking forward to continuing to support them. And just all the great work that they do.
Yeah, and you've another couple of bites at the cherry as well with the PlayStation gamers and the Cold War team also flying the Tisski flag. So it'll be really interesting to see if you can manage to take home a donation for them, and I'm sure they'll greatly appreciate that if you can.
Yeah, no, actually, we are running a donation effort in support of them as well at the moment, sort of as part of a wider community, and it would be great. Any additions will always help to ensure that all the good work that they do continues.
hmm And you've mentioned your own streaming platform, and that was certainly another reason for getting involved and another driver behind it. Do you want to talk us through how people can follow you and what sort of content they can expect to see?
Absolutely. So I'm still growing my channel, growing this community. What has been fascinating over the last year is, I have seen more and more people growing these communities around their interests. And, all these streaming platforms that now exist really give everyone the chance to express their interests, their passions, to find people who have similar passions, similar skill sets, similar interests. And I really like video gaming. So I'm kind of doing a lot of Call of Duty Warzone. I'm going to try and do some more multiplayer, but also some more kind of fringe games, some more indie games. I'm doing a lot of Receiver 2 at the moment, which I think is quite exciting. And yeah, if people want to, come and be a part of this channel, we're not tournament leaders. Unfortunately, we would love to be for this tournament. But it's for people who want to be a part of a community of gamers. So I'm a father. I work full time. I know it can be stressful for people to try and join these communities, join these people who have got similar interests, but maybe don't have all the time available. We are quite deliberate with the time that we spend. We're very clear with the time that we have, and from my experience, that's meant that people have a better chance of joining us if they need to structure their time more in advance. So if you want to come and join us, you can find us on Twitch. So you can go to twitch.tv or twitch.com, and then my channel is Monty Lake. So that's MontyLake.
Ideal, and I would encourage people to follow that channel. There's been some great insight and great action last week in the esports tournament, and looking forward to what's next for the channel and the audience as well.
I am really excited as well, and the people who get in now, I think really get to shape the nature of that community.
Mm-hmm. And do you want to give us an insight into the team's performance? And I know there's been quite an even spread of the kills throughout. I know Mr. McMenamin has certainly contributed his fair share in a team capacity, but how have the player comms went, and can you just give us an insight into your strategies and your tactics?
So we've been very fortunate that whilst we had our main team, we also had a good number of subs for our reserve list. And this actually became quite important over a few of the days. We had some work commitments, we had some personal commitments. That meant that some people who were on the main lists had to swap out. Now, what's been great about this is, as I've said, I'm not a pro sports player. I'm very much an enthusiastic amateur, as are a number of my colleagues. But the chance to get involved in this charity, esports tournament was really just too good to miss out. But what that also means is we've been able to dive into the pool of talent that we have inside Tisski for far more experienced players. So we've had some guys who really know the kind of ins and outs of the maps. So that's helped us with our map selection during the tournament across the rounds. Home and away team map selection, understanding the difference in the rules and some tactics in the play styles. And what that's meant is, as we've played overall as a company, we've all had a chance to get better at these skills, understand from the more experienced players. But what it's done as well is we've really had a chance for people who maybe don't speak to each other day to day or week to week. We are a sort of a project and consultancy and services based organization. Not everyone works with each other all the time. So when it's come to the warm-up matches, when it's come to the pre-game comms, I felt it's really helped to bring a large group of us together to cross the organization. And I feel that we all kind of speak the same language, work in the same company, the same industry, but that's not video gaming. So what we've done is really refined the commands that we give and how we shout out objectives. A really amusing thing was during the first few games we completely forgot that in the between the rounds, once you've got the objective and your lobby, your colleagues can hear you, and we were trying to discuss like things that just happened, and how do we do this and how do we get around that. And then one of the guys was like, we can all still hear you. And I was like, okay. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're going to do something else. Sort of try to fake them off. Not sure if it really works for us. But those kinds of funny team learning experiences.
Did you win that map?
We unfortunately didn't, but I don't think our comms were specifically the linchpin of that victory. No, it's always because that's another part of this learning experience of coming to these tournaments to play against teams who maybe are more maybe have players who know more what they're doing. Learning where the sight lines are, because when you see those kill cams, when the round turns over, when you know where they've come from. To us, that's really helped us in, even game to game. There was a couple of matches that we played very early on a particular map, and we've decided from now on that we are going to veto that map when we get the chance to have our veto. We're not playing on that map. It just doesn't suit the kind of range of engagements that we can make. So that was a very strong learning experience early on.
I'm glad you haven't named that map. I would keep that under wraps.
I'm going to keep up. No, it's our pull out. In the event we need to use it, we'll use it, but we're going to keep it under wraps.
And what would you say to anybody thinking about getting involved in business esports in the future? What sort of words of advice would you have?
I would say absolutely get involved. What we have found during this experience, and this is our first time joining business esports across these competitions. So Modern Warfare, Cold War, and FIFA, and actually across all the platforms as well. We have players on PC, on Xbox, and on the PlayStation. What we've found is that it's a great way to bring our own internal networks together, to find people who have got these shared passions, these shared experiences, but maybe it just doesn't come up much day to day. The chance to play for a charity is always a fantastic opportunity, and something that we at Tisski pride ourselves on is a lot of social good and social value. And then also it's been a really fantastic opportunity to play against teams who are really far outside our day-to-day life. Organizations who we may never work with or provide value for, to meet these people, albeit briefly and in quite a competitive environment, to have a chance to chat with them. Some of them came and joined on my stream the other week. Once we'd finished our games, they kind of hung around and chatted. We had members of their community getting involved, and it just really is a chance to grow a network out from a shared and a collective interest. And it's just a great experience. Get involved.
Well, that is a ringing endorsement. I really appreciate the kind words. Thank you very much. And certainly sounds like from a intercompany perspective, from a team building perspective, and from building your own network and your own community there, it's been really worthwhile, and I hope it continues to do so. We have expansion plans. We'd like to be adding in more titles. Is there anything you would like to see from us at Business Esports, or any title that you would think, yeah, I want to see that game?
It's an excellent question. I'm not sure actually. I need to improve the number of games I'm playing. Well, I think that there is a growing platform on more mobile platforms. So the Switch has a really healthy following in a number of ways. Even mobile gaming is starting to take off more and more. So certainly in terms of widening the platform, widening the breadth of the people who can get involved. I certainly think that would be an interesting avenue. But I think most importantly, it's important to keep up with it's important to keep up with the times a lot. There are always popular games. Competitive games are typically multiplayer, typically online. And I think it's just important for you guys to keep an eye on what is important, what are people playing, and to make sure that the tournaments reflect those environments.
Yeah, and certainly spotting those trends early on is part of our job here, and the addition of Warzone has been great. So we'll maybe see it in Verdansk next
yes,
time around.
I am a fan of Warzone, but yes, Verdansk. If you're keeping an eye on the news, we may only have a season left to go in Verdansk.
We are hyper aware of that.
Countdown's on the way.
Some of the leaks coming out are a cloud of mystery, as you would expect, nothing less from from the Call of Duty team there. But we're looking forward to seeing what's next for it, and where it goes from here. So keep your eyes peeled on that.
We will. Well,
look, Jordan, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks very much for taking the time out to chat with us. Wish you all the best tomorrow evening and beyond that. Derek Street's a fantastic charity to support, so good luck to you and the team.
Thank you very much. No, thank you for having me. And yes, we're gonna put our best game foot forward tomorrow evening. Really try and make our way up a bracket for the next round.
Well, good luck. Good luck.
Thank you, John.
No, thank you.